Japan, a country world-renowned for producing some of the finest hot hatchbacks the world has ever seen. There was a time back in the day when every single major Japanese manufacturer had an offering that was both outstanding to drive and yet completely different from all the others in every single way. But in recent years, we haven't seen too much of the legendary Japanese auto industry we once knew all too well. However, now, it's back. This is the facelift 2021 Honda Civic Type R, and this is the brand new Toyota Yaris GR. Both from Japan, both hot hatches, both with 3 pedals. Starting off with the Type R, and I've done plenty of videos on this car that you can check out by clicking up here, and in every single one I said basically the same thing. This car is brilliant in every way, but no one who can afford it wants it, because people with 60 grand to spend on a car don't want something that looks like it was styled by a 14-year-old. However, this car is absolutely phenomenal in every regard, with throttle response that's actually surprisingly good for a turbo car, and an engine that pulls amazingly strong, and steering sharper than a razor blade. You put it up into plus R mode and come out on a road like this, and the handling is absolutely face bending. And if you have the revs up and you put your foot down, the response that you get from this amazing 2-litre engine is just absolutely phenomenal in every way. And it really is ridiculous how fast you can go through some of these corners. It's actually painful to go through these at this speed because the handling is just incredible. So as a performance car, few cars come close. But what's really amazing about this is that you can absolutely rip up a road like that and yet put it down into comfort mode, and this car is genuinely one of the most comfortable cars I've ever been in. It rides even better than my Accord, and the steering becomes really light. Throttle response and clutch and gearbox and everything are really nice and easy to drive smoothly around town. Frankly, this car makes for an amazingly good daily driver, even though it can also absolutely tear up a back road. And add to that, it has all the features you could ever need. Adaptive cruise and lane keep assist, that means that when you're on the motorway you can basically take your hands off the steering wheel and the pedals, and the car carries on as if nothing has happened at all. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on the infotainment system. It's a car that you can genuinely daily drive, but also absolutely terrify yourself with. It's fantastic. So if you want a car that can tear up a racetrack but also be extremely comfortable to drive on the daily, this is it. Or is it? Toyota would argue otherwise, but as the new kid on the block, it certainly has its work cut out trying to beat the Civic Type R. Okay, what do we have here? 1.6 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder engine at the front, 6-speed manual gearbox in the middle, and drive goes to all 4 wheels, which makes this a very, very unique hot hatch because there really is nothing else like it on the market. In many ways, this traces its roots back to the likes of the GC8 WRX STI and Celica GT4 more than it does to any modern hot hatches. But what I'm sure you guys all want to see is what happens when you put all of that 1.6 litre turbocharged fury to the road. And the answer is quite a lot. This car puts its power down fantastically well because it's a 3-cylinder and has its own sort of piped in engine noise. It really is a very, very unique sound that sounds almost kind of Subaru-ish. I thought Honda gearboxes were good, but boy, you should try one of these. It is a joy to use. Pulling out onto the motorway here again, first gear. that turbo kicks in amazingly quickly, eh? There's no denying, at least in my opinion, that the Type R is faster than this, but this has such a nice amount of power, and the power delivery is just fantastic. Alrighty, so now it's time to show this thing some corners. This thing is certainly very, very quick. Steering is really nice and direct. Handling is good, man. It's awesome around these corners. I have to say, for some reason, just on first impression with these corners here, for some reason it just feels a tiny little bit top heavy, which I didn't expect. It feels like it just kind of rolls a little bit, but maybe it's set up like that because, you know, underneath this is kind of designed as a rally car, but oh, the way it just squirts out of corners, has no issues with traction whatsoever. Put it out into the outside lane, foot down, when it comes on boost. Oh yes, that's fantastic. I guess what I love about it most of all is that it just puts a smile on your face. It's just ridiculously fun. So at this point, you're going to want me to tell you which of these two cars is best. And let me tell you, that is easier said than done. Because realistically, we're not really comparing apples to apples here. If you want a track car, the Type R is the way to go. It was designed for it, it's what it's best at, and it's able to actually use the power that it has on the track. However, if you want a backroad barnstormer, the Yaris GR, if you can get your hands on one, is absolutely fantastic. It can use the power that it has, which makes it phenomenal fun to drive. But last of all, if you want a daily driver, either of these cars are absolutely fantastic. And above all else, you'll be doing a favor to the car community by driving one of these on the road. So if you buy one of these, thank you.